Hey everybody, how you doing out there today? This is your Uncle Steve here on April 22nd, 2025 as we are coming closer and closer to the Atlanta Falcons and their draft. What are they going to do? Who are they going to pick? Will we trade down? Will we trade up? Will we have any draft picks accumulated at the end of the day? I don't know. You don't know. Hopefully, we'll get some answers here pretty soon. Until then, we'll talk a lot of Atlanta Falcons. We got a lot to talk about with sports, obviously. It's been a while since I've been on, and I've got to catch you up on some thoughts on a lot of things I've been seeing lately. But more importantly, let's talk about what these Atlanta Falcons are going to do. And in the meantime, while we're doing that, let's talk about someone we didn't expect to show up at practice today. Let's talk about it.
You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. Gonna sit down, have a good time. You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's lounge.
What is going on, everybody? How are you doing today on a Tuesday before the NFL draft? You are in Uncle Steve's Lounge, and I am Uncle Steve, and I am glad to be with you all tonight. We are 48 hours away from seeing what the Atlanta Falcons are going to do with their first round pick. I am very interested to see what happens. Also, got news out of first day Falcons showing up at the building today, and they changed the code. Somebody was trying to get in today. Guess who it was? Our very expensive backup quarterback. But we'll get to that in a little bit. It is it's so good to be back on air. I wanted to just briefly tell you where I've been, what's been going on with me. And if you're on my socials, I'm pretty sure you probably know by now. Unfortunately, my mom passed away about a couple of weeks ago, and she's actually pretty sick a couple of weeks prior to that. So you had not seen me on for a while we were taking care of that. Just for those of you who's lost parents, I'm pretty sure you know what that's like. I am no different, and just a little bit of a difficult time at the moment. But I tell you what, God is good, and we're gonna march on. And more importantly, she, being the huge Atlanta Falcon fan that she was, would want me to do the same thing. So just shout out to mom, and just hope telling you all, make sure if you have your loved one still there, man, make sure you hug them, make sure you love on them, make sure you do, because you just never know. So shout out to mom. Love you, mom. as she watches over us as an avenging angel. And maybe she can help us out with getting us some of those Hail Marys taken care of when it comes to our Falcons. At least I hope she can. Speaking of the draft, I do want to make sure that you all know we will have our draft coverage on Thursday. When I say me, when I say we, I'm talking about me and my buddy Tidy from Atlanta Bird Gang. We do it every year. We've been doing it for quite a while. We'll have the Atlanta Falcons draft. Join us. I know there'll be plenty of other folks and folks that we listen to and interact with all the time. But come check us out as well. We've been doing this. I think this is like 7 years going straight, maybe 8 that we've done this. We always have a good time. We'll be streaming into each other's channel, Atlanta Bird Gang or Uncle Steve's Lounge. It doesn't matter. You will get the just the analysis and the quick thoughts of what's going on that day, not only with the Atlanta Falcons. What's the deal with Shedeur Sanders? Is he going to drop, as a lot of mocks have him doing right now? Is Cam Ward going to be that first pick at number 1 for Tennessee? Are there going to be trades? All of that stuff and more on draft night. Check in with me and Tidy. I think the time is usually either 7:30 or 7:45. I'm pretty sure we'll let you know ahead of time. Stay tuned to our socials to let us know. But I want everyone to make sure, and I'm going to bring this up every now and then today on today's broadcast. Just make sure y'all check us out. Uncle Steve and Tidy doing our thing on draft night. I can't wait to do that. So, I mean, let's get into the nitty-gritty of things. I have not been on so a while, so I'm just going to let the chat take me where it's going to take me, and we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about on air with us. I just want to mention real quick, the Kirk Cousins, the whole shebang. Listen, y'all, I don't know what's going to happen. There's a chance that there's a good chance that Kirk Cousins may not even be on this team by this weekend. Who knows? We still have a couple of teams that aren't quite sure what they're going to do on draft night. As far as the quarterback is concerned, there's probably a little bit of a fight between Pittsburgh, possibly New Orleans Saints, now that they found out about the poor news about Derek Carr. We're just so sorry about that. That Derek isn't going to be able to do his thing for the Saints this year. At least reportedly, he may not. So I am just as interested as everybody else to see what happens with that situation. But Kirk Cousins, I'm telling you, folks are going to call and they'll ask, with the reports being that the Falcons are asking people to cover up to $20 million of the guarantees. Good luck doing that. I'm sure that'll go down after negotiations. The Falcons probably don't want him on the roster, period. But let's see how that ends up playing out. At the end of the day, the Falcons, we need defense. We need edge rushers. We've heard the names. We heard the Mike Greens. We heard the Shamar Stewarts. We heard the Michael Williams. Let's see what ends up happening as far as our concern. Tell me who y'all think the Falcons are going to choose with that first pick. Or do you think they're going to trade down? You know, we keep hearing about this being a deep draft as far as defenses is concerned. Who knows? I know a lot of people. It's so interesting to me that the Philadelphia Eagles, as they should be in the reigning Super Bowl champs, is now getting all the love about how great their GM is and how great. And I didn't do my homework as I should have, but I saw an article and somebody brought this up about last year. And last year, at the end, if you remember, Philadelphia kind of limped into the playoffs last year. And the defense, albeit with the young guys that were there, it was questions about should they have drafted all these Georgia players? Should they have, accumulated all this from one team, and is it going to work? And are they going to mesh? And is Nick Sirianni the guy who's going to do it? Can Jalen Hurts actually take this team to the top? And then even questions at the beginning of the year. If you all remember, week 2, we went into Philadelphia, beat them on a Monday night game, and Saquon dropped the ball, and people were saying, "Oh, for the money y'all paying, he shouldn't be doing all this." I say all that to say, Atlanta Falcons fans, yes, we end up playing the hope, wish, pray thing with the Falcons every year, but it only takes 1 or 2 moves to get this thing going in the right direction. I hope this is the year that we do it, but I just harken back to that Philadelphia situation. Let's not act like, balling out that Super Bowl from 7 years ago. They had to go through some rough times too. So I just say we do have some hope. The biggest wild card, to be honest with you, in all of this, if you ask me, is Jeff Ulbrich. I think if he can teach these young men how to play, then we don't have to worry about picking the absolute top guy in the business. As far as the draft picks are concerned, we don't have to worry about running up to the top. So let's see how that ends up working out. We're going to jump into the chat real quick, and I see a couple of chats already. That's my boy Willie Doc in the house. Let me see if my stuff is working here. Uncle Steve Lounge. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lights in the basement. It's Thank you, Willie Doc. I appreciate you. He said that intro song is still bumping. Blessings, Uncle Steve. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for looking out. Got another super chat in the house down here. Oh, that's my brother, Tidy. What we got on here for Tidy? What we got? Chilling up with Steve's Lounge will always be. Man, y'all hear them vocals, man? But thank you, brother. Again, y'all make sure y'all check out me and Tidy. We will be on for draft night coverage in the Atlanta Bird Gang and in Uncle Steve's Lounge. We will be simulcasting that night, as we have done for a long time together. I always love being on the mic with my brother, because we will share it up, chop it up, have fun. Make sure you bring your drinks with you so we can toast our pick at number 15. So we'll see. My brother Titus says, Gulf Freeman been showing videos of himself trading on Instagram. I say bring him back. Super Bowl win. You're absolutely right, Tidy. You are telling the truth.
Stop the cap.
I don't think I think Devontae Freeman is one of the best specimen of players that we'll have getting ready to come into the 2025 season.
Stop the cap.
So please, we welcome him in. We welcome him back. And he has about as much chance of coming back as Mike Vick does to come. I'll stop messing with Devontae. Devontae helped us get to a Super Bowl, man. I will leave her alone. Thank you, Tidy. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We're going to run down here real quick. John Higgins is in the house. What's going on, man? He said, Uncle Steve, what's happening? Hey, my man, my condolences to you, brother. You and your family. Glad to see you back and doing well. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Dexter Owens is in the house. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. He said, I love the Falcons are putting their feet down with Kurt. If these teams don't want to pay a starting quarterback $20 million, don't release him nor trade him for pennies. We already paid him down. Pittsburgh won't get lucky like they did last year. If you want Kurt, I got to pay more than 10. Clearly, Rodgers don't want to play there. If Kurt don't agree to give the team a pay cut, we should not either. Now, Dexter brings up some very good points. And I'm gonna tell you what, Dexter, I agree with you. There's no right now. You save more money keeping a discontented Kirk Cousins on the sideline than you will cutting him. If you cut him, we have to endure an immediate $60 million plus cap hit. Cutting him helps us none at this point. So you stay the course. And again, the Falcons put out $20 million. Nobody's going to pay $20 million on his guarantees, knowing that the Falcons need to get rid of him as much as the other team want him. Can they kind of wrestle somewhere in the middle and get about maybe, I don't know, 13, 14, kind of cut that in half? Maybe. But really, right now, if you're the Falcons, there is nothing you lose by holding on to Kirk as is at the moment. I think that's what you do, if you ask me, as far as our buddy Kirk is concerned. False start in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Our Mike Gaming, what's going on, man? He said you a fool for that thumbnail. Who, me? You talking about the Kirk Cousins? I hope a lot of people get that. I know our Mike is on top of it. Q in the house. What's going on, Q? Thank you, brother. I appreciate you joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thank you, brother. Zeta Bag in here as well. Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all. Yes, Unc is back and ready to react to some of this news, some of this football news. We are ready. RJ Falcon is in the house. What's up, RJ? Good evening, Unc. My condolences. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you. I take every single covering that you all have given me, and a lot of folks asked where I was. A lot of people checking online. Appreciate y'all, and I really do appreciate it, and I don't take for granted the thoughts and prayers that everyone has been sending to our family. We appreciate that. T Walker in the house. He said, "What's up, Unc?" I think he showed up to save face. He literally admitted to playing hurt and didn't disclose the injury and contributed to us missing the playoffs. Second time, he snitched on himself. T, and it's the problem. You're absolutely right. He's saving face. Remember, he was kind of the good guy coming in, clean cut, Christian living. I'm going to do everything for the team, blah, blah, blah. Then you got your little feelings hurt when we drafted Penix. You hurried up, drove home, cried. I don't know what you did. But, he does have a little bit of a makeup to do. I think that little time when D-Led tried to get the interview with him and he changed shirts and all that stuff, I think all of that stuff didn't play well. And the one thing he doesn't want to do is look bad publicly. I'm not telling the man how to do his personal business. Let me make that clear. But at the same time, you ain't exactly look like the bad guy. Now, the Falcons have not looked like the intelligent folks in here by signing him to the huge contract now. But at the end of the day, I think you're right. He is saving face, and he's trying to get back to being a good guy, in my opinion. Melvin, what's going on, Melvin? How you doing, sir? He said, Uncle Steve was good. Go Cowboys. Yeah, man, Cowboys, y'all got a long way to go, too. Y'all got y'all roster hooked up with 3 players about to, well, as soon as Mike could get his money, nobody else is going to be able to afford to be on their team. That's for sure. Thank you, T. Walker. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Titus. Thank you, sir. Y'all just don't know. I appreciate that. Kelvin, how you doing, Kelvin? Good to see you, brother. He said, God is good all the time. Indeed, he is, my friend. Indeed, he is. Melvin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. You start hearing stories about, different folks and what they go through. And I hear you loud and clear. It is. It also tells you, you discover a lot about yourself during these times. And some of my best therapy, quite honestly, is talking just like I'm doing today. So you guys are therapeutic to me as always. So I really appreciate it. And thank you so much again. ATL Skeet Man in the house. What's going on? Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Kelvin says, actually showing up is a genius move, showing he can be a professional and participate in team activities, plus a chance to show off in preseason and maybe get a call sooner. Listen, and the one thing we don't want to talk about is we are all human. Who's to say something doesn't happen to Michael Penix? We don't want it. We're not claiming it. But if something unfortunately happens, you do need a quality backup. Now, for those of you who want to get excited about Easton Stick, knock yourselves out. But I'm talking about at least a decent backup. He is super overpaid, but if I'm looking on the sideline and Michael Penix happens to be limping, I would rather, yes, after everything we've been through, I'd still rather look over there and pull up number 18 aside of looking at Easton Stick. I don't even know what to say about that one. Scott, man, how you doing, Scott? Good to see you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate the well wishes, my friend. Thank you. My brother David's in the house. What is going on, man? Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Yes, it is good to be back. It is good. Good. Augusta Gator says, wide receiver first round. No, let me tell you something. I heard the owner for the first time in a long time say what he wanted. And he said defense. When he did his presser, I want to say about a month plus ago, when they were at the combine, and he said defense is going to be a priority. So I got a feeling if the big boss, if the check writer is saying that, I think that's what we do. We do that this year. But Gusta, I'm going to mark you down just in case we do so I can come back to you, my friend. Philip, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Do you think we've done enough in free agency to go offense in the second round? I think we're going to be okay offense, knock on wood, with injuries. I think we're in a good place there. I don't think we need to go offense first two rounds. I think we need to go ahead and stick to the other side of the field. The never-ending look for the edge rusher, the never-ending look for a quality cornerback on the other side of A.J. Terrell. I know Mike Hughes being re-signed made a lot of people happy. I'm grateful that we have somebody with stability. Mike Hughes didn't do a horrific job, but Mike Hughes was never meant to be that guy on our defense. I would love to see us upgrade on that side of the ball. And we really, I hear all the optimism about Helms and hoping he can come in, folks, and do the job. But I'm really concerned about that other safety position. I know we got the brother from the Panthers, but he really wasn't all of that with the Panthers. So I hope we don't overlook that position too much. I think having two good safeties on the field, and then I don't know if y'all saw the interview with Kay Adams, the lady used to be on Good Morning Football, where Simmons said that the door wasn't completely closed in Atlanta. And it's probably because folks aren't going to pay him what they paid. After they saw what he did last year, he kept talking about wanting to go to Philly and helping up there. Well, Philly is like, well, we got the youth movement going up here. So as solid of a player, and I say solid, I'm not talking all pro anymore, but I'm talking about at least somebody who knows the position. Philadelphia can afford to say, you know what, we'll take a pass on that, because Justin is probably going to want $7 to $8 million. Now, for the Falcons, I would take him back for $5 million or less. Same goes for Matthew Judon. I know a lot of people after not getting optimal play from both of them, or results, I should say, I would still pay those guys, but much lower than we ended up paying them last year. I'd take both of those salaries down about half a notch. If you're talking about I can get either one of those for $5 million or less on either 1-year contract, so I'll do that in a heartbeat. Folks, you can't substitute for experience. And say what you want about Judon. He wasn't the mega star, but he did do a couple of good things near the end of the year. So I'm not ready to totally give up on him. Kelvin says, I say if Mike Green is there and can't trade down, take him. But Mike Emanawari from South Carolina may be a steal if you trade down and the pass rush is deep in this class. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people have graded this class very deep as far as that is concerned. So hopefully they'll get a chance to get somebody right now. And I think that's the most important thing. We just got to get one of these young cats to come in here and do their thing. Got another super chat in the house. That's our brother Greg in here. What's going on, Greg?
Forever my Falcons. Hey, that's my team. You wanna hear news, wanna hear songs, then chill with Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
Forever my Falcons. Hey, that's
my brother Greg in the house. Greg, who I am going to probably run it back again with some shoes. Y'all make sure y'all take go to Greg Custom Kicks. He's on Instagram. Make sure y'all check him out. I am a customer. I'm a multiple time customer. He does a great job with custom made shoes. Please make sure y'all look him up. You got a little time now. It's mid-April. You got a little time. If you got to save a little money, he does the job in a pretty quick fashion, turns it back around. And I cannot tell you how quality. And every time I go, people are like, oh, man, y'all see them shoes? Y'all see them shoes? So y'all make sure y'all check my brother Greg out. Greg, I appreciate you, brother. He said, what's up, Unc? Prayers and blessings to you and your family. Thank you, sir. We definitely go in defense. Hopefully, edge with the loss of Grady filled that void up. I agree with you as well. I do say somebody was asking me about Grady and what I thought he was going to be. Look, Grady might be inspired by getting to Chicago the first year or two. It wasn't about having Grady Jarrett on the team. We got to separate that. And I'm not talking to you, Greg, but I'm just saying what people been talking about Grady. It's about paying Grady that big payday. It was no way that I could sit here and justify saying, you know what, Grady Jarrett is $20 million worth on the defensive line. I know at some point you have to put your foot down and say, hey, y'all, is that really what we want to do? And you can't do that. Grady is a great ambassador for Atlanta. He will always be red and black to me, but I couldn't sit there and pay him $20 million. Even in the day of the inflated salaries in the NFL, Grady has not justified to me as a fan to where that makes sense. I'm not telling you I'm an agent, not telling you he's not a very good player. Not telling you that. What I'm telling you is for $20 million to play on the defensive line, I don't think he's that guy. Love Grady, but I just have to be real. To me. So we'll go there. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you, brother. Travis Preston in the house. What's going on, Travis? He said, hey, long time no see. Much love to you and the family. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all. David says, if anything's going to happen with Cousins, it'll happen day 2 of the draft. I'll stretch it out to day 3 too, David. I think, look, there are only 2 and possibly 3 quarterbacks that folks are talking about going in the first round. That's Cam Ward, son of Mr. Prime himself, I'll get back to that story later. Sanders, and looks like Jackson Dart has somehow wiggled his way into possibly getting drafted in the first round. Those are the only guys that I think I'm hearing right now. And I think with Kurt, what Kurt doesn't want to happen, you don't want Pittsburgh to jump up and get that pick right now. Don't worry about New Orleans. New Orleans will never make a deal with Atlanta like that. They'll make a small deal, but they'll never make a deal like that with Atlanta. They got their own problems as far as salary cap is concerned. So we'll see. Nando in the house. What's going on, brother? Said, great seeing you, Uncle. My condolences to you and the family. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Gator, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. It is fine, man. It wasn't like I was being very public. And again, I appreciate folks reaching out to me online, whether it's, private message and stuff like that. And there was a lot going in motion. That's probably why I was, kind of taking a little time off. But y'all know how it is sometimes. Life comes at you, and you got to put a pause on some things until you get everything right. But I appreciate the concern. And again, well wishes, prayers, always accepted here. Always. James, what's going on, sir? Good to see you. Say, cousin, I think things are well with you and the family. The new quarterback is gonna beat out Kirk. Yeah, I doubt it. Easton was here before though. We had Easton a couple of years. Was it a couple of years ago or 2 years ago? Last year, Easton came on. If it wasn't the practice squad, but he was here one time. Philip says Kirk showing up was a photo op. He wants to keep his name relevant. I believe relevant is one thing, but I think he's trying to be the good guy, Philip. I think he wants to come out looking good, looking clean cut, looking like, hey, I'm not going to rock the boat. That's what he wants to do, in my opinion. I don't think it's a matter of relevancy. He's relevant. They're talking about him. He's going to be next to draft picks themselves. Kirk Cousins is going to be one of the names. And one other guy who I'm hoping will be a name is Trey Hendrickson. And hopefully the Falcons would be involved with that. Yeah, even if it puts us in the hole for next year, I think you can't deny somebody racking up 17 and a half sacks 2 years in a row. It's not like he's 35. I would take a chance on that in a heartbeat. Excuse me, if we could. Antonio James is here. What's going on, sir? He said, what's up, Ump? Kurt doesn't want to get traded to a team that's drafted a quarterback. Has he forgotten how old he is? Well, right now, Kurt doesn't really have a lot to work with. If you remember the situation, and it's not as similar, but I'll say at least Matt Ryan had a situation when, he got the news. Now, wait a minute, y'all trying to bring in my buddy Deshaun Watson. And he's like, hold on now, y'all trying to bring him in. Well, let me get up out of here. But Matt had options. Like right now, and I was talking to my son about this earlier today. There aren't a lot of options out there for quarterback. And I want to pull that up one more time, because if you really look at what's going on with the quarterback position, I'm trying to get this right quick, and I'm just running through with you all. All right, so I'm looking at the NFL as it stands right now with the teams. Right now, you talk about, oh, come on now. Wow, this internet really screws you over. I'm going to share this with you all so we can look at it together. Stop share right there. And y'all like, dang, you don't know how to use that yet? I sure don't. Sure don't. Okay, so at this moment, if you run down the list of teams, and I'm just going to point it out to us right now. Who needs a quarterback? Who doesn't? Buffalo doesn't need a quarterback. Miami doesn't need a quarterback. Jets just did Justin Fields. New England has Drake May. They don't need a quarterback. Baltimore, of course not. Pittsburgh, put that in the pocket. Cincinnati doesn't need a quarterback. Cleveland, put that in your pocket. Houston doesn't need a quarterback. Indianapolis has two guys that'll be battling out this year. Jacksonville doesn't need a quarterback. Tennessee is going to draft Cam Ward. They don't need a quarterback. Kansas City, whatever. Chargers, whatever. Denver, no. Vegas just extended Geno Smith. Philadelphia, of course not. Washington, of course not. Dallas, better not. Giants, they just invested in Russell Wilson and crab legs down there, up there in New York. They're not doing anything. Detroit, of course not. Minnesota, we'll see. Maybe we put them in the pocket. Green Bay, no. Chicago, no. Tampa, no. Falcons, no. Carolina, no. New Orleans, Rams, no. Seattle, no. Arizona, no. San Francisco, no. So those are four teams that I mentioned. I said the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, the Minnesota Vikings, and who else did I say? I said somebody else that I missed. Anyway, that's not a lot of places for Kirk Cousins to go. So when you think about that, you don't have a lot of choices, folks. We really don't. So I would say those dreams may not come true, if you ask me. David says, I really want to move back and get more picks in this draft. 5 picks, 2 7th-rounders, so really 3. Just not enough to cover these holes on our defense. We might have to take more of a chance to with some undrafted free agents. We just might have to take a lot more chances. I know people don't want to hear that, but if you have coaches and you have folks that are truly, doing their job, we got to take some chances. So that I think that's a good thought, but get you some undrafted free agents out there. There are going to be a couple of people. I know somebody named Sanders who's probably not getting drafted that day. Take a chance on him. Nando says we're trading back in the first round and drafting edge. Michael Williams, I'm sure that's what he's talking about. A lot of people keep saying we're going to get him. They're mocking him or Mike Green to us. So that wouldn't shock me if we did that. Got a super chat in the house. We'll bring this down, me and my brother Tidy, and bring the super chat up with T. Walker in the house.
If they say why, tell them Uncle Steve will read your comment. Why? Cause I do it that way. If they say why, Uncle Steve will read your comment. Why? Cause I do it that way. If they say why.
Yeah, T. Walker, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you for joining us in Uncle Steve's Lounge. He said, I'm calling my shot. Cleveland trades back into the first round and gives us pick 33 and 67. We take Jay Pierce at 33. I wouldn't mind doing that. I know that would give us the picks we need. I'm here to tell you this, man. I think you're going to see the Falcons, and I'm not here to tell you they're going to do it 100%. Falcons are going to swing big for one of two people. And don't laugh when I say it. Well, you can laugh, but don't do it in my face. I think they're going to really go for Trey Hendrickson. And I really think they might try to see what Dallas is talking about with Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons, there's not going to be a lot of room for Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons just watched his only 2 contemporaries being Garrett and Crosby get paid. I mean, he just saw them break it off. Michael Parsons and TJ Watt are sitting back in the sidelines saying, oh, that's what we doing? And neither one of them, Michael Parsons is what, 26? And he said they paying folks like that? Do you think Dallas is going to ante up that much money? I don't think so. So I'm looking at that. I don't have any insight. I'm just sitting here thinking there could be something to think about. More realistically, Trey Henderson would make sense, if you ask me. I think Michael Parsons would probably try to be the most expensive player in the history of defensive players, as he should be. Michael Parsons has made a major impact on the defensive side of the game. Motor that just doesn't stop. He's going to get $1 million more than whatever Myles Garrett got. And I wouldn't have a problem with that, whether it's the Falcons or anybody else. So I really do. I could see that happening. Carrie, what's going on? How you doing? Carrie from One Time for the Fan. Appreciate you dropping in here. Y'all make sure y'all check One Time for the Fan out. They're going to be doing some things on draft night as well, but y'all make sure y'all check them out too. Say hi, Uncle Steve. Sending you my deepest condolences, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Again, I will never stop the love. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. ATL statement said, Uncle Steve, I agreed on what you said on the Falcons. I said a few things. I thank you. I appreciate that. 330 in the house. What's up, 330? Oh, Tidy, what's going on? Brother, we appreciate you coming in. Speaking of Tidy, again, I just want to let everybody know, and I'll be putting it up on my socials again. Tidy and I will be here draft night as we've always been for the past 6-7 years. I think I got to get it. It's either 7 years or 8 that we've been doing this thing. So y'all make sure y'all check us out. We'll be here Thursday. Come check us out either on Uncle Steve's Lounge or Atlanta Bird Gang here on YouTube. We will be catching you. Y'all make sure y'all check us in. Sit down, turn the TV on, but turn it down, and let's talk about what the Falcons are going to do in this draft. And there's going to be some other interesting things that go on as well, but y'all make sure y'all check us out when you do it. Let's see. Go down here. A1 Sports Forever in the house as well. My brother Chris Tip in the house. He said, "Look, how you feeling, family? I am good, my friend." He said, "Kurt showed to keep face. He doesn't show up. How does that look to the other teams? He's done enough. Please, plus, don't play around and get your behind fired." Well, I'll say this, Chris. If he, again, I agree with you to that extent. He's got to look good. There is no scenario that he's going to come not show up and not look like a team player. No matter what the Falcons told you, no matter what the Falcons did, and no matter what moves the Falcons made, I do feel like Kirk Cousins, it's in his best interest to show up. Kirk Cousins is getting paid. He's getting paid right now. So do you sit home and collect the paycheck, or do you try to come in like Tip said and pretend like you're the team player? Think about the teams that I just mentioned to you. If he goes to Minnesota, as there are rumors, which doesn't make any sense, because if he's going to go to Minnesota, and let's just say the kid from Michigan gets well and ends up taking the job over, you're doing the same thing you just did with Atlanta. Now you go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh could be intriguing. My son laughed out loud when I told him Pittsburgh. But here's the deal with Pittsburgh right now. Pittsburgh right now, I do not think is going to wait on Aaron Rodgers. All the Aaron Rodgers stuff, Aaron Rodgers is playing game. I really don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play again. There are a lot of people thinking that he might just be holding out so he doesn't have to go to camp and things of that nature. I understand at 41, he shouldn't have to. But this is a different situation than Tom Brady. Tom Brady was already on the Tampa Bay 49ers. Listen to me. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was already on the team. He already knew most of the guys he was going to be throwing to. So for him to show up for OTAs or show up to things like today, what the Falcons did or something like that, I could see him wanting to, hey, I'll show up when the first OTAs come out. I'll do that. Right now in Pittsburgh is reliant, right on their roster, Pittsburgh has Mason Rudolph. And I say that again. He has Mason Rudolph on the team. So I don't think Pittsburgh or Mike Tomlin want to go into this draft or come out on the other side without somebody more competent. Now, Kirk Cousins didn't exactly light the world on fire last year, which is the reason why he's in this situation now. So Pittsburgh say, I might take a chance, but, Falcons, I'm not going to pay $20 million for it. But what else is Pittsburgh going to do? Shadour's not going to drop all the way to 20 plus. So only other way they would do that is be able to jump way up into the top 10 and get ahead of New Orleans, because it looks like New Orleans is going to need a new quarterback. I don't see I'd be willing to bet if I check the New Orleans online jersey sales, I'm not seeing Spencer Rattler doing great in sales. And remember, release Taysom. So a lot of things to think about if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers with that situation. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to wait around. I think Pittsburgh might try to move up and get ahead and get into that top 10. If they can find a dance partner, New England, maybe a Jets, Jacksonville, somebody of that ilk to make a deal with, I can see Pittsburgh going to make that move. But right now, if you're Kirk Cousins, you're in a wait game right now. You got to wait. And I understand why he's saying, let's see what happens in the draft. Because he might end up saying, you know what? I don't know if I want to go to Cleveland. The only other team that would make sense, depending on how healthy the kid from Minnesota is Minnesota. Minnesota is stacked. Minnesota is ready to roll right now. Those wide receivers make quarterbacks look good. They made Cousins look good. Got him a big contract. They made Darnold look good. Got him a big contract. So right now, that would be the optimal place to play. If you go to Cleveland, who are you going to be throwing to? So I don't know. So I want to switch gears and please still talk about the Falcons. Obviously, I've been gone for a couple of weeks, so I haven't had an opportunity to talk about a couple of things. But I do want to bring a couple of things up while we're talking, and I'm going to skip around. So if you want to talk about what I talk about, what I'm bringing up, feel free, put it in the chat. We'll join. I'm going to start locally. Atlanta Falcons aside. Atlanta Hawks season ends. They did fire GM Landry Fields. How do I feel about things? This is one of the first seasons that I don't think Falcon fans need to go to the blow it up method. I think the Falcons. I think the Hawks are in a okay place because they are very young. I like Dyson Daniels, who he's up for 2 major awards: Defensive Player of the Year and Most Improved Player. I do like the bench. I think Guy is going to be a good backup. Right now, if you're Trae Young, if the Hawks were even entertaining trading Trae Young, I would be okay with that as long as we got a mid to quality scorer point guard back. I don't know who fits that bill right now, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom with the Hawks. I think Jalen Johnson was a huge miss. Jalen Johnson would have had the Hawks in the top 6, and I really believe that. And I think Ricochet, look, he didn't show up in the play-in games. I understand that. We got to remember that kid is still young, and he showed flashes of really being able to do some things. I'm not all out on the Hawks. Talk to me next year after another year of hopefully being healthy and getting all of our team together. I think we're going to be fine. Speaking of going to be fine, Atlanta Braves off to a horrific beginning. I think the Braves are going to be fine. 4 in a row. It's not going to shock me if we look up in June and the Braves are at 500 or above. Yes, this injury thing is just killing us. I know I just heard Spencer Strider is on the DL again. Different injury, so shouldn't be that bad. Just get that hamstring loosened up. I think we're going to be fine as far as that's concerned. No problem with that at all. Switching gears to football, but another team or another player, the NFL draft is going to showcase a couple of quarterbacks, and one of them being our buddy Deion's son, Shedeur Sanders. I watched the whole thing play out this weekend with the retiring of numbers deal, and I'm telling you, the very first time I heard that, I thought that was the most ridiculous thing to do so quickly. I don't have a problem with Travis Hunter if that's what it sounds like. There is no problem with him. But I do say to do that so quickly, and that speaks possibly about your own situation, I guess, your own team, Colorado. I don't see them building shrines for Stetson Bennett after he won back-to-back national championships and was a finalist for the Heisman. I don't see them doing that. So I have to ask, what's the rush? What's the rush to do that? I know what the rush is, because you're keeping Deion Sanders happy. You just paid him all that money, so now you want to put his name up in the. I don't blame, dude. Cordell Stewart, Eric Bieniemy, Westbrook. I mean, there are guys that I think should have been there first. And I think we're just in a different generation and different time. God bless the generation of now. That I think they're just going on what their social media presence is. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think they should have retired the numbers this quick? Travis Hunter is a specimen. Love to have him on the team. No doubt, in my opinion, he was the best player in football the last 2 years. Definitely the best athlete. But retiring the number like a couple of months after you just finished the season? Come on, man. I don't know about that. That's really crazy. David says, unpopular opinion, we're not going to win a championship with Trae Young as our best player. He's too small and gets pushed around by bigger guards. I would prescribe to that after I see the Hawks go get a big guy. Let me see what they do. We have not had a legitimate center on this team, and the center doesn't have to be 25 a night, 15 rebound. It doesn't have to be that person. Give me the person that's just going to do the dirty work. See, and I'm about to get old on y'all in a second. Tree Rollins will never be brought up under the greats NBA history. But I'm going to tell you what Tree Rollins did for the Hawks. Tree Rollins did his job. He went in the middle. He got rebounds. He blocked shots. He didn't sell jerseys. But he did the dirty work. He did his job as a 7-footer in the middle. That's what we don't have. Okongwu is too small. You can't have him playing the 5. Not in today's NBA. He can't. Rudy Gobert is everybody's punching bag. But you know what Rudy Gobert does? He sits there and he does job. He gets back. He gets garbage rebounds. He makes blocks. That's his job. You know. So bring that scenario back to me, David, when we get Trey legitimate help in the middle. Because we had 6'4" guys getting rebounds on us against Orlando and Miami. And that's ridiculous. Kelvin says, Durant to the Hawks. Nah. Went for what? Selling seats. Durant is an all-timer, great player, Hall of Fame, no doubt. But why? And I'm not saying your opinion doesn't have validity. If Kevin Durant come here, it would sell tickets. It would sell jerseys. The Hawks would be on TV more. But I think you're going backwards. I don't know how many years Kevin Durant has left. David says Strider just went back on the IL. I disagree. I think we're due for a down year, and this may be that year. I don't think so. I think the Braves are still gonna be solid. We get Acuna back and get him off social media and get him playing in the games. I think we'll be fine. Austin Riley looks like he's starting to hit. Before he got hurt, Marcell Ozuna was doing great. I think Albies is a streaky guy. Look at what Sean Murphy's been doing. I mean, we've been waiting for this for 2 years. He's finally stroking. Money Mike, he might owe us a little money, but Mike needs to go out there and do what he's supposed to do. He still does it on defense, so I applaud him for that. I think we're going to be fine with the Braves. I really do. David says, don't forget Rashawn Salam. Yeah, I forgot all about him, and you're absolutely right. Tidy Time chimed in, said the same thing. Didn't get his jersey retired till 2017, almost 25 years later. And see that, and I think that's the part that bothers me the most. It's not saying that Travis and Shedeur didn't do things to change the culture for Colorado. And I have to be careful with that because last year they changed the social culture, but you can't go 4-8 and act like, you know, we're all that in 23. And in 24, what big games did Colorado actually win? Big games. Big games. Utah was down this year. The Utah team the year before waxed them. They lost to Nebraska last year. They lost to Kansas, and Kansas kind of smoked them. And then you made the big deal about, well, Travis and Shedeur are going to play in the bowl game. They probably should have sat out because it wasn't like they needed. I mean, BYU destroyed those guys. So before we start making shrines and putting folks in Ring of Honors and retiring numbers, Ring of Honor to me, which Dion publicly lied to. Dion talking about everywhere he's gone, his numbers been retired. We ain't retired 21. You can have a couple of folks wearing 21 since you left, so stop that. That's the first thing he said on the everywhere I go, I always retire my number.
Stop the cap.
Last I saw Atlanta, I can't remember, but I remember the person who comes to mind the most is Chris Owens. And God bless Chris. But I saw Chris Owens with number 21, and I was like, hold tight on that, Dion. Greg says we ain't had a big guy in the paint since Mutombo. Let that sink in. That's been a long minute, brother. That's probably, you're right. That's probably the last legitimate big man we've had in the middle. And we need to. We need to get that big guy. Make that investment, man. And I need to see that right quick. Y'all got me upset over here. Oh man, Carlo, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Say, what's going on, Falcon fan? We getting close. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, Trufant wore 21. That's right. That's right. And Trufant was at least legit. At least he was legit. I'll give him that. From that standpoint. But when Dion started telling people, oh yeah, we everywhere I went, they retired my number. That's not true. I'm gonna put this up real quick. Hold on. This is and again, if y'all coming to join, this is Uncle Steve's Lounge. I am your Uncle Steve. I'm just coming back in here after a while. I'm gonna put the information up again. We will be having draft night coverage. My brother Tidy and I, as we have always done, we will be on air draft night doing our thing for the draft. These are the free agent centers for the NBA coming this year. Brook Lopez, I'm not paying him. He will do the job. I'm not sure. Do we want a 37-year-old in there? I'm not. I really don't know. I'm not sure. Clint Capella, we already done that before. Is Miles Turner worth that? Do y'all think that Miles Turner is going to try to return to Indianapolis? Again, we don't need a superstar. We just not even somewhere between a superstar and a goon. And when I mean goon, somebody who could just take up 6 fouls and stuff like that. I don't want that. I would love to have some type of just solidness. Naj Reid, I don't know if he's gonna go anywhere with Minnesota. Remember last year they had Naj Reid was showing out, doing all his thing. At least he's kind of young. I might not be bad on getting him. I just can't pay him that much money, but he's not going anywhere. He's staying in Minnesota. Steven Adams, who's doing yeoman work with Houston. They got to catch up as far as the Golden State is concerned. That would be somebody interesting. God bless you, Al. Al probably retire this year. Looney is definitely not going anywhere. He'll take less money to stay around legends, in my opinion. Andre Drummond, Andre Drummond is only 31 years old. That's crazy, right? It seems like Andre Drummond been around forever, but he's only 31 years old. DeAndre Jordan been around forever. He's with Denver. He's not going anywhere as long as Jokic is in there. So there are some guys. I don't know if we want to try to start over again or not, but I think that's what we need to do. Tip says it's ugly this offseason. No free agent. It is, but again, do you need a superstar or do you need somebody that can just patrol the paint and at least get some rebounds? Somebody who's going to be active on the boards where we don't have to look up again and see 5'3" guys sneaking in, getting rebounds. That's really what I'm talking about. Say next year will be better, yeah. Antonio says, if you're the Hawks, do you take a chance on Joel Embiid low ball trade? I can't do it, bro. I can't. And I hear you. when Joel Embiid, when everything is all right with the world, Joel Embiid is arguably a top 5 player when all is good with the world. I'm gonna pull up his stuff real quick. I'm gonna take a look at it. Joel right now. So, and look real quick. There we go. So Joel, if you trade it for Joel, Joel will take up. Let me go back. Let me go back a little bit. There we go. Get my screen right. Here we go. Joel's cap hit for this year coming up. He has an annual salary of $59 million. He has $59 million coming on in year 26, 27, 64 in 27, 28. This coming year, his hit will be $55 million. Now, again, I'm not telling you Joel Embiid is not a good player, but I'm not sure if I can pay him that much money. I'm not sure if I can do that, y'all. It sounds good in theory, but I just can't do it. Carlos say Embiid lazy and always hurt, might be a waste of time. You know what? Embiid doesn't keep himself in LeBron-ish type shape, and I'm not telling you have to go through the LeBron workout, but there's something going on with Embiid. You know, LeBron had to do it, Steph had to do it, where they had to invest in their physical conditioning in order to be great, in order to be legendary. The year that Embiid had the MVP season, that's what he did. And I felt like Philadelphia, got the help with that. But I just can't do it. Not with that much money. $55 million for a chance that he gets hurt. Nah. Greg says, look up how long ago it was that Mutombo played for Atlanta to give people an idea of how long it was that we had a legitimate big man. Oh, bruh. I know it was during the mid 90s, because I think that was when it was right before he was on there with, wasn't Steve Smith on that team and Mookie Blaylock, and he was giving us quality in the middle, and you could almost argue he was on the other side of his prime when he was with Denver. But Mutombo was probably the last, God bless him, was the last solid center that we have. I'll put it that way. Last solid center. Robin Layfield, how you doing? Good to see you. I am doing well. I really am. Greg said that's too much money for an often hurt big man. Reminds me of Greg Oden. Oh, man. Good, but stay hurt. Yeah, poor Greg Oden never even got a chance to do his thing when you start talking about players in the league. Hey, listen, folks, I wanted to come on. I definitely was just trying to reacclimate myself to coming in. I appreciate everyone joining us today. And I want to remind you again, my brother Tidy and I are going to be on Thursday doing our draft. We always have a good time, always have fun. You know you're going to have some laughs. Hopefully we don't have any super surprises unless it's in a good place for us. Hopefully we get a lot of action and trades. I want to see what ends up happening in the Atlanta Falcons war room when they try to pick somebody at number 15 that'll help shore up some of this defense. Folks, I appreciate everyone joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. I am Uncle Steve. I am happy to be back in the house. We will be here Thursday, either Atlanta Bird Gang, Uncle Steve's Lounge. Check us out for draft coverage. I'll be poking my head in on our brother Chase and Dirty Falcons United. I'll be sticking my head in there if you want to check me out a little later on. He's going to do some things today. His pre-draft coverage. He's been gracious enough to ask me to come in for a quick second or two. So I'll be poking my head in there after, I think, 8 o'clock, he said. So we'll see you over there. Until then, everyone have a blessed day. And again, thank you all for the great words and inspiration you all giving me. I appreciate it, man. Great having the Falcons love shown all across us. Until then, man, y'all take care, and I will see y'all draft night.
You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge. You're in Uncle Steve's Lounge.